And before you head to your pantry for your next snack, you're going to want to hear this. New data shows just how much ultra-processed food we're eating, and it's a lot. Scripps News national correspondent Katie Tubman is looking through all that data. Katie, what is the biggest takeaway here?
Well, Nate, I can tell you one takeaway is that I took this personally as a tack on my potato chips that was waiting for me back at home. But the major takeaway from this data is that Americans, as you said, are eating a lot of ultra-processed foods. And those are foods that are manufactured and often pre-packaged. And they're usually high in sugars and fats and low in nutritional value. And a new report from the CDC revealed just how much of these foods we are eating. And, well, I'll tell you, nutrition experts are concerned. Ultra-processed foods are making up the bulk of Americans' diets. That's the findings from a new CDC report out Thursday, showing ultra-processed foods made up 55% of Americans' food intake for those over the age of 1. Young people ate even more, with ultra-processed food making up 62% of the diets for those 1 to 18 years old. The most popular types of those foods include sandwiches like hamburgers, sweet baked goods, savory snacks, and sweetened drinks. Ultra-processed foods are linked to major health concerns, says nutrition professor Barry Popkin.
They're bad for every kind of chronic disease you can imagine, from weight gain to heart disease.
A study last year linked ultra-processed foods to early death, and a study published this week found avoiding those foods might help with weight loss. The new CDC report comes amid new scrutiny of the food industry, led by Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and his Make America Healthy Again movement.
Americans don't know what they're eating, and they don't know the implications of those things.
That government push could transform the industry that makes ultra-processed foods, according to nutrition expert Marion Nessel.
This is putting the food industry in trouble. So they will either have to adjust by producing healthier foods, or they're going to have to do something else to try to figure out how to sell their products. But they're in trouble right now.
One thing to note about the CDC data, Nate, is that it actually showed a slight decline in overall ultra-processed food consumption compared to previous years. And still, nutrition experts are saying that at current levels, they are still concerned. Nate?
See, this gives me pause. I was going to go home and have some potato chips, too, and unfortunately, now I'm going to feel pretty guilty doing that. I'm kidding. I have a nutritionist. She'd be very angry if she saw this. So, Katie, what advice do nutritionists have for people who are trying to limit how much ultra-processed food that they're eating?
Well, Nate, we asked Marion Nessel, who we just heard from, that same question, and she said that she doesn't advise people to totally throw out their potato chips or throw out those foods from their pantries. Rather, she says that they should lower their consumption and also try to swap in minimally processed foods, such as, for example, if you have plain oatmeal versus getting the prepackaged flavored oatmeal. Not as fun, but might be better for you. She also offered that cooking more of your food could be a great way forward. She said that a good tip is to know if you're cooking the food on your stove in your kitchen, then it's not ultra-processed.